We are just over halfway through the month of June, and I am feeling so freaking good. I went into this month of June saying that this is going to be one of the greatest months of my entire life. And who am I kidding? I feel like I literally do that every single month. I'm like, this is going to be the greatest month of my life. Heck, I do this every week. I do this every day. When Andrew and I are going on our walks, I'm like, I'm so excited. He's like, for what? I'm like, life, this day. Like, I'm just so excited. And I do this a lot, right? Like every month, every week, every day, I'm like, this is going to be a great week. This is going to be a great day. This is going to be a great month. But there was something different that I felt in my heart, in my soul for the month of June. Like it just felt different than any other month. And when I think about last year in 2024 June, that was one of my favorite months of all time. I love the summertime just in general, but that is when my business freaking bloomed. It skyrocketed. I was serving the most amount of clients. So many of my clients were joining Conquer. So many of my clients were coming into the academy. I felt the best I've ever felt in my health, just like physically. I felt the best in my body. I felt so good. I was having the most amount of fun. My parents came over to our house and we celebrated my sister's birthday. We made these homemade pizzas. We had homemade brownies. Like I was just honestly really living my life as I always do. But there was something different about June of last year. And I was like, I feel like something different is going to happen for this month as well too. Like I just felt a different shift in my body, but also I just decided, I think what's really important about this conversation that I want to have with you is that you literally get to decide that this could be the greatest month of your life. I don't care if we're way past the halfway mark. You can decide that the last 2 weeks of June, you're going to feel incredible. You're going to be the healthiest. You're going to be the happiest. You're going to experience so much joy and pleasure. Like you literally can just decide. It's a decision. You don't have to wait for something to happen. Like, yes, this month of June, I'm running this program. It's called Becoming Her. I'm having the time of my life delivering these weekly trainings on claiming your badass identity, romanticizing your life, challenging yourself, stepping out of your comfort zone, choosing faith over fear. Like it is an incredible program. My clients are loving it. Like they're stretching themselves. They're stepping out of their comfort zones. They're claiming their badass identity. I had one of my clients, she's like, this is the most powerful program you've ever run. Like I've transformed massively and we're just halfway through. So that is a very incredible program, but I decided before I even started the program that this was going to be an amazing month. I decided it was a choice. It was a decision where I just woke up and I'm like, this is going to be the best month of my life. You don't need to wait for something outside of you. You don't need to wait for a vacation or for, something exciting. Like I definitely plan those things. Like, this month I'm so excited because Andrew and I actually at the time of this recording in less than a week, in 6 days or whatever, next Tuesday, Andrew and I have I have my ultrasound, my anatomy scan, and they're going to let us know whether it's like a girl or a boy. We're putting it in an envelope, and then we have to wait until the weekend, and we're going to have our family, just like immediate family, over in our backyard and just doing like a little mini gender reveal. So I'm so excited about that. But honestly, like it wasn't even about that. It wasn't even about this Becoming Her challenge. I just made a decision, like, why not? Why not have June be one of the greatest months of my life? Like, why not? What are you waiting for outside of yourself? Like, what are you waiting for to have the best month? What are you waiting for to have the greatest week of your life? It's really just a decision. Like I just woke up and I was like, I'm just going to decide that I'm going to have the most fun in my life for the month of June. I'm going to serve the most amount of clients. I'm going to create these bomb-ass programs more powerful than I've ever led any training before. I'm going to become the healthiest version of me. I'm going to be happier. Like, I just literally decided. It's a choice. It's a decision. And because I decided in advance, every single day, I am taking action in alignment with the healthiest version of me, the happiest version of me, the most joyful version of me, this is the best month. So what am I going to do today? You know, I always have that in the back of my mind. I'm like, I said this is going to be the greatest month of your life. So when you're going to go for that walk, you're going to really freaking go for that walk and have the time of your life, even if it's just a walk. You know, it's like if I'm going to sit outside and enjoy my lunch in the beautiful sunshine, like I am soaking it all in. If I'm doing a call with my clients, like I am there, I'm so present, I'm alive, I'm delivering the best trainings, and I've always done this, but I was like, let's turn it up a dial. Like, let's turn it up a notch for the month of June. And it's no wonder that I am feeling so freaking good. I'm feeling on fire. I'm feeling in momentum. My clients are getting the best results that they've ever had. Like, they're going all in. Like, they're challenging themselves. They're romanticizing their life. They are claiming their badass identity. Like, they're doing all these things. And it's just a decision. I decide to do this for me. I decided, I was like, June is going to be the greatest month of my life. And I just decided, and because I decided, the results match the intention. When you have the intention of this is going to be the greatest day of my life, you're going to have magical moments. And this does not mean that you can't have a bad day. It doesn't mean that something wrong can't happen, right? Like, things have gone not as planned this month in certain aspects, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be the greatest month of my life. Just because you had a not so good conversation, or just because, you know, work has been really busy, does not take away from the fact that you can literally still turn the day around. You can still turn the week around. It's your response to what happens to you. It's really a decision, you know, and we have one life. Like, we literally have one life. And I don't want to live a single day where I'm not fully immersed in life and just feeling alive, feeling present, feeling grounded, feeling joy, feeling happy, feeling fulfilled. You can just decide today. You can decide that this evening, whatever time you're listening to this, maybe it's like 6 a.m. and you're listening to this and you're like, today's going to be the greatest day of my life. Maybe it's like 8 o'clock at night and you're like, well, if I go to bed at 9 o'clock, I have an hour and I'm going to make the best of it. Like, every single moment gets to be really, really, really special, gets to be really intentional. Andrew and I, we went to the beach this past weekend. We basically had like 2 special dates in a week, and I've just been enjoying the beautiful sunshine. I've been going on my walks, and they feel incredible, and I just feel happy. I just feel like, and again, I'm always happy, but it's like I just feel a level of fulfillment and joy that I've experienced this before, but it's just a different level. And the only reason I believe that I'm actually experiencing this is because I was intentional. You know, it's really easy to just like go day by day by day. You know, like that's the easy part. It's just like, okay, wake up. Okay, it's Tuesday. Okay, wake up. It's Wednesday. Okay, wake up. It's Thursday. And just kind of let the days pass by. But I instead chose to be intentional. I said, why not have the greatest month of my life? Like, literally, why not? Why not? It's not going to hurt. It's literally, I'm only going to be happier. I'm only going to be healthier. I'm only going to experience more joy by setting this intention. So why the heck not? And as a result of me going first and having the time of my life, being happier, being healthier, being more fulfilled, delivering the most powerful trainings, I'm getting messages from my clients like, yeah, Lauren, like I can feel like you're showing up differently. I can feel your energy. I'm seeing better results. My clients are making these incredible badass moves, And so it's a decision to really just choose to have the greatest day, the greatest week, the greatest month. And again, challenges will happen. Not so good days will happen. Shit will hit the fan. Things will not go according to plan. And that is okay. That does not mean on, day 5, you're like, oh, well, I guess this isn't going to be the greatest month of my life. No, actually, that could happen. That's life. Welcome to life. That can happen, but you can still choose. Hold on, wait a minute. I said that this is going to be the greatest month of my life, so how am I going to show up as a result of this challenge that is being presented to me? How am I going to show up after having the terrible news that I just experienced? How am I going to show up after this problem? How am I going to show up after, this not so good thing happened? You can choose to turn it around, and it's so much easier to turn things around when you decide in advance how you want to feel. I'm going to give you a really raw, real, vulnerable example. And not go too into nitty-gritty details, but it's going to be about 2 weeks ago, I was on a call and something happened to my internet, whatever, the internet cut out, and I was recording. And somehow the internet went out and it didn't record half of my call. And obviously that's frustrating, right? It's never actually happened to me before in all these years that I've ever been a coach, but things happen, right? Sometimes things are out of your control. And it was on a Friday, and we literally had the best call. And I'm so grateful that all my clients showed up live on that call. And so they got all the incredible value and all the things, right? They were like, this is literally the best call. But obviously I, wanted to have it recorded. And this was the first time this has ever happened. I said I wasn't going to go into nitty-gritty details, but here we are. But this is live. So anyways, that was a Friday. And on Fridays, Andrew and I do date night. And after the call, Andrew and I plan to actually just go down the street. And there was a little festival happening where we live. It's amazing. We can literally we walked there. It's literally on the same street as us. And there's a festival happening. Anyways, and after I got off the call and I went back to go listen to the recording and I saw that only half of it recorded, of course there was frustration. Of course there was this feeling of annoyance and just frustration, right? You're allowed to be annoyed. You're allowed to be frustrated. And I could have let that ruin my weekend. I could have let that ruin my date night with Andrew. But I said, how do I want to show up in this moment? Things are out of my control. I reached out to Zoom. I tried to get it fixed. I did my part. It's sometimes things just happen. Sometimes things are completely out of your control. And I let Andrew know, and I was like, I'm feeling a little frustrated right now, and I'm 100% allowed to feel this way. I'm not going to just turn around and put the biggest smile on my face and be like, let's go to date night. I'm so happy. It's no, I was feeling frustrated. But I said, okay, feel the frustration. And now it's it's time to enjoy your date night. And so I didn't want to let that ruin the rest of my weekend, because you can't let things that are out of your control ruin your date night, ruin your weekend, ruin your week, ruin your day. You literally cannot. There's going to be certain things that are out of your control, and you just as much as you care, as much as you try really hard to make sure everything is good, sometimes things are just out of your control and you literally can't do anything about it. And anyways, I surprised my clients with another bonus call, and I'm sure they're going to be super pumped up about that. But regardless of the situation, the point of me sharing this story is not the nitty-gritty details, but the point of the story is I went into this month of June saying this is going to be the greatest month of my life. And it has been magic and miracles, and man, I've been having so much fun in my life, like so much fun. And, this happened. It was but just before the halfway mark. And there was a moment where, of course, I was frustrated, but I did not let it consume me. Because life is too precious to dwell, to get upset, to be mad, to be frustrated. It literally does nothing. It doesn't change the situation. I could have continued to be frustrated for the entire rest of the evening and not have an amazing date night with my husband, who I care so much about. Our date nights are the most important thing for me. And I could have let that ruin my evening. But instead, I said, I'm going to feel the frustration. I was in my room and I just let myself process for a little bit. And then I said, okay, I reached out to Zoom. I did my part. And now it's there's literally nothing else I can do. So for me to continue to stay frustrated, that's not going to change the fact that this happened. It's not going to make things better. So I said, I'm going to choose to have the best date night ever with my husband. We went to this festival and we walked around. We saw a few people that we knew. We spoke with them. We got an acai bowl, and it was actually they had little food trucks there, but that was one of the options that I was most interested in. And we tried a different acai bowl. We've never actually been to this one location. It's a mobile company, so I guess they just go to certain events and things like that. And we got this amazing acai bowl, and we were just having the time of our life. We're walking around, and then there was a bunch of kids playing Connect 4, and I was just so mesmerized by watching kids. I find kids so fascinating. It sounds so creepy. I was just watching the kids, but we were just sitting there on these chairs and listening to the live music, and we were playing a few games, and we ended up coming home, and I think we made some bone broth that night, and then we just had an amazing rest of the night. You cannot let things out of your control ruin your day, ruin your week. You can't ruminate on things that maybe you don't have control over. You're allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to be upset. And then you have to move on. And this does not mean that when you claim that this is going to be the greatest month of my life, does not mean that it's literally going to be rainbows and butterflies and you're going to be on a freaking trampoline jumping for joy every single day. That does not mean that that's going to happen. It doesn't mean, if I claim that this is going to be the best month of my life, there's not going to be a single challenge. I'm never going to be frustrated. I'm never going to feel, stressed or anxious or overwhelmed. That's not the case. But when you have the intention of this is going to be the greatest month of my life, when something happens to you that maybe frustrates you or annoys you, you can shift your perspective. You can shift your day around so much faster. It's a decision. What did I say throughout this entire podcast episode? It is a decision. It's a choice. I could have literally said, well, man, this is not going to be the greatest month of my life. No, I was like, it still is. I'm going to freaking date night. Let's go. So set your mind in the right direction. Every single day, I'm showing up in alignment with this is the greatest month of my life. So how am I going to show up today? And when you have this intention and there are certain things that maybe you don't want to do, you're going to do them anyways because you're wait, hold on a minute. I said this was going to be the greatest month of my life. So yeah, I'm going to go out and we're going to go on date night. We're going to do something extraordinary. We're going to have the most fun of our life. In one of the trainings inside of Becoming Her, this is a 30-day challenge for the month of June. And by the way, you can join this at any time, even if it's after June, because you get access to all the replays and they're freaking gold. so good. It talked about claiming your badass identity, stepping into the badass woman that you know you're meant to be, romanticizing your life, like how to add more joy and more pleasure into your life so you no longer turn to food for comfort. And then we talk about how to actually push yourself out of your comfort zone, how to never let fear stop you, how to actually become the woman that you're so proud of, show yourself what you're actually really capable of. And then we're going to be having another conversation at the end of the month as well too, about having complete faith, believing that anything is possible, and just skyrocketing your results like crazy. And my clients are living. Like, my clients are experiencing more pleasure, more joy. They're feeling even more like a badass because of the work that we're doing inside of this. But it's because I went first and I said, I'm going to deliver the best incredible trainings. Like, I do this for all my trainings, but there was just something different about this. And my clients can feel it. I can feel it. And so I just encourage you to literally wake up every single day and choose to live a life that feels like magic. Choose to decide this is going to be the greatest week of my life, the greatest month of my life for no other reason other than I just decided. Because the month will go so much better, or the month will turn out so much better than you actually expected when you set that intention. I could have easily been like, okay, I'll just another month. And I still would have been happy. I still would have been healthy. Like, that doesn't change. But I wouldn't have experienced this level of joy, this level of fulfillment, this level of, man, I just feel so free. I feel on fire. Like, I feel so freaking good. But that was because I just decided. So decide in this moment that you're going to have an amazing rest of your day. The week is going to be incredible. The month, I don't care what day it is, what time it is, you're going to have the greatest next few months of your life. It's a decision to choose, to go all in, to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to experience more joy, to feel the most fulfilled that you've ever felt, to make the biggest badass moves that you've ever made in your entire life, because you have one life. You have one life to live. So why not have the greatest days? Why not be healthy? Why not be the happiest? Why not step into your power even more? Like, why the heck not? You're capable of that. And it's just a decision. People can feel it. People can feel it. You're going to show up to work and everyone's going to be like, you're glowing. There's something different about you. You're like, yep, I'm having the time of my life. Like, and again, it's not even to do this for anyone else but yourself. But people will feel it. People will feel it. I also did a secret offer this month in one of my programs inside of Conquer, the Social Food Reset. I dropped a secret offer. Well, there was actually 4 secret offers. So a secret offer is like, I let people know that there's a specific offer, and I just gave them little hints, but they have no idea what it is. And I've had, I think there was like, I don't know, there was multiple, I think 6 people bought it. And then there was an all access pass where you get access to all 4 secret offers. And the latest secret offer, I basically filmed like a documentary. Like, I basically filmed behind the scenes of my life for multiple days in a row to showcase what it's actually like for me to live my binge-free life. I shared my mindset behind how I eat, my workouts. I talked about going out for dinner because Andrew and I went out for dinner when I was filming. And just like a bunch of different things, but people that actually people don't really see. You needed to like be inside of the secret offer to actually just see like the real nitty gritty behind my mindset, my actions, my behaviors, my non-negotiables. And it was so powerful. I had the time of my life filming it. I'm having so much fun just like filming behind the scenes of my binge-free life. And I just had the greatest time. And I was so excited to deliver it to my clients. And I was so proud of my clients for trusting their intuition because they had no idea what this offer was. It wasn't like, hey guys, you're going to get this. there was 4 offers, and they had no idea what it was, but many of them, I believe there were 6 of them who joined, and they had no idea, and they were so grateful. Like every single one of the secret offers was mind-blowing. It was so good. The feedback was incredible, and I just decided I'm going to blow this out of the park. Like I'm going to blow my clients' minds, and it was so good. It was so good. So anyways, I'm just here living my life. I wanted to record this podcast episode so you guys can like feel my energy and then calibrate to it. Like, let's freaking go. Like, let's have the time of our lives. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, the time is now. Like, your life is now. Like, you're living your life now. There's no like, oh, next month will be better because this month sucked. Like, no, decide today, decide today, decide today, decide in this moment, decide right now. Let's freaking go. We're having the time of our lives in all of our programs. Like, my clients are crushing it. Like, the badass community is freaking thriving inside of Becoming Her. Like, the most transformational programs and trainings. Like, I'm so in love with life, and I want you to feel this way too, because it's just a decision. It's literally just a choice. So decide today in this moment, and you got to have an amazing rest of your month. So with that being said, we are going to wrap up this podcast episode. I hope you have the most fabulous rest of your day. Do not forget, you are a badass. You can do hard things like conquer binge eating. You are powerful. You can step into the badass woman that you know that you're meant to be. You can have so much pleasure and joy in your life that you don't need food to comfort you. It's all a decision. So have a beautiful rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see you inside of the next episode.